This is TWiT.
The more you learn about stuff, the more disappointing it is, you know? And when this was first presented, right, back before it was called Windows Mixed Reality, what was it called before? Windows Holographic or something?
Yeah, Windows Holographic.
If you think about that name, or you think about the name Mixed Reality, both of those things suggest that this thing will be something like HoloLens, right? It's not, you know, normal to expect it to be a full HoloLens experience, but surely it's more than just VR. And it's not really, right? These are VR headsets with one addition that makes them different from a traditional VR headset. And that is that the tracking functionality, which to date on PCs has been through external sensors that, you know, maybe are in poles, you put them up in the corner of the room or whatever, HTC Vive or Oculus Rift, for example, are integrated into the headset. And so it does that positional tracking kind of a thing. But it is a VR headset. Your vision is occluded, if that's the right term. You only see what's in the, you know, you can't see the world. So it's not like HoloLens, which literally mixes virtual and real realities. It's just VR with built-in tracking. So it's just VR is the way to say it. It's more, maybe more advanced in this one way than most VR. It's more advanced than phone-based VR because they don't really have that in the phone solutions. But it's really just VR.
Do you know, I was thinking about this the other day because a number of people at Build tried on the new mixed reality headsets and said it's VR. Like I don't get why they're calling this something else.
That's right.
But do you remember the promotional video they did when they first renamed this to mixed reality? Because what they showed in that was people wearing HoloLens and people wearing these mixed reality headsets being able to see the same thing simultaneously. But that's not even possible, right? I mean, how could you?
Yeah, there's a Windows mixed reality platform that used to be called Windows Holographic that does present a variety of capabilities. But there's no real crossover, right, between from HoloLens to these things. So the mixed reality headsets are at the low end of the scale, and the HoloLens is kind of at the high end of the scale. HoloLens is completely untethered. The computer's in the device. Doesn't rely on a computer. And it does do that, what we used to call augmented reality thing, you know, so it is possible to write an app that you could all participate in it together. But the things you would see, I would have to think would be slightly different because with the HoloLens, you probably are always going to see the real world as well.
So this is, okay, see, when I hear mixed reality, I think augmented reality.
Right.
Because mixed is mixed the real world and the virtual world. So I think that they're misnaming this. This is like the Daydream or the Gear VR. This is a VR headset.
And if you call them on this, which I've done, what they'll tell you is that it does bring forward this one innovation from the HoloLens, which is the onboard positional tracking stuff. And that's fascinating, but I don't think that makes it mixed reality.
No, that's what other Vive does that, and that's a VR headset.
Yeah.
You could build it to the headset. That's what Google.
There's a rich history of misrepresenting the capabilities of this platform, and I find it alarming at every step. You know,
I really do wish they wouldn't do that.
The other thing is it's 2017, and so these things are going to appear at a cost of like $300 probably. There was some notion of there being almost a gradient from the cheapest MR headset all the way up to the most expensive HoloLens, and that there would be these interim capabilities. And there aren't, not really. It's possible that a higher end device with a higher end PC might deliver a higher resolution VR experience. Anyone who uses VR on a phone or elsewhere knows that your computer or whatever it is might be capable of 4K, but when you put the headset on, it's like a YouTube 320p video all of a sudden. That's going to be an issue, especially in the cheap ones. I don't know. Unfortunately for Microsoft, when it comes to VR, the phone-based stuff is so inexpensive that if you want to experiment with it, that's the easiest way to do it, the cheapest way. And unfortunately for Microsoft, with things like Project Tango, speaking of ways in which Google kind of gets it, it's really cool to be able to walk around in the real world with your phone and be able to see augmented reality on the phone while you're interacting with things in the real world. And the kind of suddenly canonical example of this is when you go to a museum and maybe in front of you is a dinosaur skeleton and you hold up your phone to it and you see what the dinosaur would have looked like in real life. And that's really cool. You can't do that with HoloLens unless you're locked in a room at NASA or somewhere, where they have expensive equipment, because HoloLens is not a consumer device.